Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we'll show you how colleges are virtually recruiting athletes for the upcoming season. And with many sports still on hold, this past weekend was a big one for betting at Churchill Downs. And restaurants in Kentucky are able to reopen on Friday, but one Harlan County restaurant had an unexpected and destructive visitor yesterday morning.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Lacey Roberts, and thank you for joining us on Mountain News This Morning. Today is Tuesday, May 19th, or as we like to call it, Monday 2.0, and especially 2.0 of that severe weather alert day. Let's go ahead and bring in Brandon Robinson to talk about what we can expect for that day, and of course, knowing that that weather app is definitely handy to download.
Absolutely, and we're continuing to track some heavier bands of rain this morning. Let's take you right to line pinpoint Doppler radar because I'm going to actually zoom in a little bit and kind of show you where some of those heavier bands are this morning, and they're up in two parts. They're in two parts of Morgan County, Rowan County, Elliott County, Carter County, back over toward Powell County. So it's right along the I-64 Mountain Parkway corridors coming from Lexington all the way back over toward Louisa, Paintsville, and over toward Prestonsburg, seeing some heavier bands of rain this morning as well. Visibility taking a hit, so just be careful if you have to be out and about early this morning. Remember, anything less than 5 miles on this map is limited visibility. So temperatures much cooler than they were this time yesterday. The range, I believe, is 55 in Somerset to 64 in several locations there. I'm not going to read them all off because it's a bunch of them there. So again, it's just a soggy and kind of a dreary start to the day. And not a whole lot's going to change as we head deeper in the day with those rain chances continuing off and on. We could hear a rumble of thunder at times today, but for the most part, much calmer than it was this time yesterday. There's those rain chances, so we're going to keep a close eye on that, keep you posted. Full forecast on the way here in just a little bit. Lacey.
Thank you, Brandon. And a longtime Harlan County attorney and pastor was buried yesterday. William Rice died Sunday morning in Corbin. Rice played for the 1944 Harlan High School state championship basketball team. He practiced law for 65 years until he retired from the law firm of Rice and Hendrickson. He was also the pastor of Woodland Hills Church for 47 years, and he and his wife founded the Woodland Hills Christian School. A private service was held. William Rice was 91 years old. And we have a sad update to a story that we told you about earlier this year. Lily Combs died Sunday at the Greg and Norton Wells Hospice Care Center in Hazard. In March, we told you how the woman known for her healthy lifestyle was battling stage 4 lung cancer. The community rallied behind her, and a shirt was even designed for her at Appalachian Apparel. Lily loves spending time with her friends and family, going to the gym and painting. All services are private. Lily Combs was 42 years old. In June of 2018, we brought you the story of a Perry County woman who lost her son in a car crash more than 20 years ago. Ginger Carroll, she keeps her son, Brian's memory alive by handing out purple Bibles to many that she comes into contact with. Perhaps her most notable act happens every spring when the graduating seniors of Buckhorn High School get theirs. WYMT's Will Puckett has more on how COVID-19 is not stopping this tradition.
30 purple lockers inside the high school wing of Buckhorn School are donned with caps and gowns.
It's beautiful, it's beautiful.
This scene is normal right now, but it's what's inside these lockers here at Buckhorn that matters more than graduating.
One of those traditions, I think it's unique to Buckhorn.
A King James Version Bible, adorned in that Buckhorn purple, sitting there waiting to be grasped by the new Wildcat alumni.
I tried to imagine it, but it's awesome.
In a time where seniors are forced from their classrooms and schools, looking at anything but a traditional graduation ceremony, these Bibles given by Ginger Carroll bring a sense of normalcy to seniors.
The world is so uncertain right now. There's so many questions and people look here and they look there. So hopefully somebody will look in the Bible for the answers, or for guidance or for help or, just to calm them in their fears.
A 1997 graduate of Buckhorn, Brian Carroll, the young man all of this is in memory of, has written on his headstone Romans 10:13, "For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord will be saved."
That's always going to be in there, and it's been in every Bible that I've ever given out.
But for this class, a small message from Ginger herself that simply says, always find the good. In Buckhorn, Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
Now the seniors will see their Bibles for the first time today, and they will graduate at the Law Cathedral like more than 100 other Buckhorn classes on Saturday. And another aspect of sports looks a little different due to the coronavirus, and it is the recruiting side of that phase. U-Pike's home visits have turned into FaceTime calls. Campus visits are now virtual tours. But during the pandemic, the U-Pike's men's basketball team has still managed to sign 7 recruits. Head coach Ty Compton says he feels like the virtual visits take the show out of the campus visits.
But I think you have a chance to see some transfer rates maybe go down for student athletes, just because I think they're making decisions based off of relationship more than fluff that they may see on a campus visit that maybe doesn't necessarily always show what their actual day-to-day life is going to be.
Officials say this virtual recruiting process has shown them what is essential and what is not. They plan to keep some of the virtual recruiting process even after COVID-19. And a big week of betting for Churchill Downs. The return of racing at the Twin Spires brought more than $26 million in wages. That's up 185% from the same weekend just 1 year ago. Marnie McGee with the Daily Racing Forum says limited racing and no other sports is bringing more people to bet on races.
Well, clearly it's a reflection of horse players and sports people in general starving for some action. Which is not to say that Churchill didn't have quality racing on their opening weekend, but with no NBA or baseball or anything else to bet on, the fans weighed in with their dollars.
The spring meet of Churchill Downs resumes on Thursday. And the Second Lady of the United States will visit the Great Smoky Mountains National Park for the second phase of the park's safe reopening. Karen Pence is expected to arrive today. The park closed in late March due to the coronavirus pandemic, and Deputy Secretary of Interior Catherine McGregor will join Pence. The pair will deliver remarks to community and business leaders and tour the park as well. Pence is also focusing on the benefits of the outdoors for mental health and emotional well-being. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And under the governor's guidelines, retail businesses can start reopening tomorrow. WYMT's Madison Pergram takes us to some of those stores and shows us how they are preparing.
I think I'm just looking forward to hearing those bells ring, the doors open, and people actually walk in.
Wednesday will mark a big day for many retail businesses like Brittany Hale's store, Wildfire Designs. This will be the first time the store's doors will open in weeks.
So to actually have somebody come back in and you see just a person in front of you instead of a piece of paper and an order to go off of, I think that's our biggest thing that we're just excited for.
On down the street at Daffodil Boutique, they are also prepared.
We're rearranging our store to actually make it look fresh and new, like a grand reopening or something like that.
In the weeks leading up to a reopening day, several businesses focused on technology to get them through the tough time.
We kind of prepared for it by launching our website. It's something that we didn't foresee for a small business, but we thought this is how we're going to keep things going and keep us alive.
Although stores will begin to open, your shopping trip is going to look a little different.
We'll be wearing masks, and we will, strongly encourage that the customers wear masks. We've got our hand sanitizer station right at the door when you first come in.
The one thing that remains the same, customer service.
Feet apart, we can't hug our customers like we normally do when they come through the door, so it's going to be different, but we'll make it through it.
With communities supporting local and local businesses supporting their communities. In Prestonsburg, Madison Pergram, WYMT Mountain News.
Daffodil's Boutique says that they will continue to have their curbside pickup service, and Wildfire Design says that they will continue to operate their website for the people who still do not feel comfortable coming into the store. And a restaurant in Cumberland had an unexpected early guest yesterday morning that left behind quite a mess. That visitor captured on surveillance cameras was a black bear that spooked while rummaging through trash at the local dairy hut. It busted through 2 windows and scratched up a few spots on the floor. From what owners can tell, it was not injured. One man who collects the trash at the dairy hut says he's used to bears at this time of year, but this type of destruction left behind by one is new.
I rode by here, didn't see the windows broke or the garbage can turned over. And I come back about 7. The garbage can was turned over, and where I'm standing at, the window was busted. Then the one on the other side behind me, it was busted.
The cost of repairs will be about $1,000. Owners are able to make jokes about it, and they are still open for takeout and drive-through business. And just ahead on Mountain News this morning, one Kentucky nurse is going above and beyond the call of duty to keep a patient calm.
Cooler temperatures and rain chances continue. We'll talk about the extended forecast coming up here in a little bit.